Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with BeckerArt, and today I want to show you how to use a dagger brush. You heard me right, it's a dagger brush, so this is the brush I'm talking about. This is called a dagger brush. And what does that mean? It's a long-haired brush that looks like a dagger, or they call it a striper, or they call it a sword brush. And so there's a couple of different kinds of them, smaller and shorter, different color, different hairs. This is animal, this is synthetic, but they all basically are long, thin, and like dagger-like brushes. They're not like this is a rigger brush, a striper brush also they call. This is a rigger brush, but look at how much taller and how much longer they are. And how are they used? They're used for many different things, and so that's what I'm here to show you today. And so I'm going to show you that what you should be doing anytime you get a new brush. I don't care what kind of brush it is: round brush, flat brush, um, fan brush, sword brush, rigger. Try it on a sheet of paper and practice with it. Try things. Art materials don't come with instructions usually most of the time, like brushes especially. So how do you know how to use it? You practice and you just try things with it. And so here I'm just going to try this with my brush. I'm just going to wet it. And a lot of things I know for sure that you can do with it is long lines, long slender lines. So it's called like a pinstriper brush because they go really long. So you can make a nice thing about a real long line like this is that a brush this long holds a lot of pigment. So look at how long I can do that line. Now this is not very straight, but I'm just showing you that depending on how you do your lines. Look at how I did 3 lines and I never put my brush back into the water. Now it's running out of water and paint, but it's amazing how much paint this holds and how much water it holds, so you can go quite a ways with it. So great for making long lines, which then you think to yourself, what in your painting has a long line? And also what it does is make good thin and thick lines. So thin, and then turn your brush a little bit, make it thick, go back to thin, thick, thin. And if you do that sideways, you'll notice that that's a good thing to do when it comes to like hair. When you're doing long hair on a portrait or something, this brush, can go in, and then you can also wisp it and just go a little bit like this. So thin, long lines to make hairs. You can wisp it up. And then when it breaks apart, a lot of times when it goes thick, you can break it apart. So you can make like a wisp with it. And this is all things that are not explained in any kind of manual or anything. What it is you do it and try things. Try it, instead of doodling with your pencil and stuff, take your brushes and get out there and see what you can make with your thin line dagger brush. All right, so that's 2 things. And then, so telephone wires, barbed wire fences, or lines like telephone wires, hair. So that's for nice small things. I like to use it for tree branches because I like the fact that you can like make the line go downwards. So let's just go over here, just here and go thin. And as I go down, I'm gonna get thicker and thicker and thicker. And then as I'm going up, look at this, I can just kind of go like this. And as I'm going, I just go real thin. And I try to break up the lines a little bit, and it makes some really neat branches. You can do some really neat, and you can spread it up so there's like double branches. It's just a different way of doing something that you can't do with any other brush because this brush goes thin to thick. And so it's super, super nice for details. And then if you do it dry brush wise, so take some of the paint off and dry brush it, you can actually do, those little thin lines that you can do in trees. Look, I'm using the side of it. So that's one way of doing it, the thin branches of trees. Or look at, I'm doing it side with a lot of little branches, breaking it up a little bit. So look at all these neat branches you can get with it. If you're an abstract artist, this has got to be great because you can just go in there and make all kinds of lines. So like if you do a little twitch and stuff and just kind of go with a little line, can you imagine how beautiful that looks for some abstract texture? Abstract texture, look, man, isn't that great texture looking? And just by wiggling your brush. And I'm not sure, maybe it's something you can use this for something else, like texture on the side of the wall or something. I don't know, maybe it's a certain kind of plant that you can make it look like. The thing is to use the brush many different ways so that you can then just go in and try things. Like grasses, how do grasses work if I just kind of flick it? or thin branches, like, or little cattails, you know, little long lines, and then go around sideways. Can't see that with my hand in a way. And then put a little bit thicker for the cattails. You can also, with every brush, you can spatter, but sometimes different brushes spatter differently with the amount of water and the length. I mean, look at how much paint this has in there. So I can hit it against another brush, and I can direct these little lines in that direction. You can cover everything else up that you don't need to have those lines on. Another way of making texture, what if you make it really wet and just hit it downwards? And just look at those little dots and everything. And so, I mean, it's just, you have to practice with things because you're not quite sure. You're not actually sure what this thing will do for you. I like to do it for, like, when you look how fine you can get. So if you're drawing with it, you can draw, and you can draw a long time. So let's say I'm drawing like an eye. Just drawing an eye here because it holds so much paint that you don't have to worry about it running out and constantly going back. Because when it comes to doing really short, really fine details with a brush like that, really fine, you have to constantly go back into the paint because it doesn't hold enough paint. But this, look at how much paint it holds. I can do this whole eye in one. I never have to go back to the. I can even do the wisping of the eyelashes because it's such a fine point. So you just gotta play with it and see what you like on it, and you know, what can you use it for. That's with any brush. It doesn't matter if it's just this brush or fan brush, or you just got to learn how to use them and what you can use them for. Was another thing I was doing. Grasses, the hair, the lines. How about if you're just laying down the brush flat, basically. If you lay it down in the shape of the brush, see, if it's going to make like a knife shape, right? But how can you use that? Can I make a flower, some certain kind of object with this by just laying it straight down and pulling it? That could be like a flower, basically. So what is it that you can do? I used to use one of these short ones for pinstriping cars. I used to try to pinstripe cars, and that was like, you know, the designs when you go around and you kind of come over. So you have to know how to, you know, turn it and all that kind of thing. But we're not pinstriping cars, but hey, you never know when you need that in your watercolor look. And so that's pretty much all I know how to do with it. But you may have to try and find out other things you can do with it, and let me know, because I would love to see different things that you can do with it. Now, this could be done with white paint for stars. You know, I just keep on looking at it. But my favorite, again, is trees and hair, because it's just, you know, a pretty amazing brush to doing that stuff. All right, so give it a shot. Practice with your brushes. Buy different kind of brushes. We as artists, we love going to art stores, and when you find a different brush, practice with it and see what you can get. There may be something that you got that nobody else has done it that way. I was always reminded when I use my large round brush. When I use a large round brush. The reason I got to learn how to do pine needles was this brush. If you use it sideways, you know, you can get a lot of real texture. And I'm not using the front of the tip. I'm bending the tip, and it's giving me neat ways of making different things. So that's just in a round brush, which this brush couldn't do that. So find the brush that you like and then practice with it. Just definitely practice and see what you can do with that brush and how many techniques you can do with that brush too. So they're called, again, Dagger, Striper, or Sword brushes, and give them a shot. In the description, I'll put a link in where you can buy not this one of these Dagger brushes. All right, so I will see you on Wednesday this week, because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we will not be doing a paint along on this Thursday, but we'll be doing it on Wednesday night. So come by this coming Wednesday night, and I'll see you at 6:30 Central Standard Time. And we are doing a apple pie. Apple pie, I think, with a cup of coffee. All right, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.